Warum ist es eigentlich so, dass der Trump-Regierung in Amerika mehr kämpft für die Freiheit von europäischen Bürger, also deutsche Bürger, than die deutsche Bürger? That's so weird to me. You know what I mean? Right now, Donald Trump is trying to, and I'm not saying him singularly, J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, the people in his upper area of the administration that are not globalists, right? They are trying to keep free speech and freedom to vote who you want to vote for who you want to vote for, alive in countries like Germany where it's being annihilated. Every semblance of democracy or freedom in this country is starting to disappear right before our eyes. And the people are just sitting fucking on their hands. I mean, what else has to happen? How many more of your kids have to get raped, stabbed, die? How much more money do you want to lose? How much more money do you want to invest in wars you want nothing to do with? You know what I mean? It's so crazy. Now, guys, you know how Donald Trump and the administration are doing this. You remember the Zöllen deal, the 15% that Ursula von der Leyen negotiated for us? That basically she fucked us, right? But she had no choice, okay? There was no way she was going to get anything from Donald Trump. Donald Trump's going to take her to eat her lunch, and we all knew that. So, no surprise there. But the deal is still actually in negotiations, right? The deal is in negotiations because the Trump administration is saying to Europe, the DSA, Digital Services Act, in which you guys are going to try to censor everybody, and you guys are going to call the shots on what's misinformation and disinformation. Yeah, no, we're not cool with that. So the deal isn't done until you guys get rid of that shit. Now that's fucking amazing. That's amazing, right? If Donald Trump failed at everything else, but was able to bully these moron, tyrant European politicians like Friedrich Merz and all the leftist morons, right? If he was able to bully them to take the DSA away and just allow the European citizens freedom to speak their mind and to tell the truth on the internet, that would be an accomplishment so good that I wouldn't really care what else he did wrong. Okay? That's amazing. That's amazing. So basically, Europe has no leg to stand on, but they're of course holding on to the DSA. They're trying to say to the Trump administration, no, this is not negotiable. We will censor our citizens. But what, of course, they're not thinking about, right? They're not thinking about all of the things that are going to be a side effect of them not getting rid of the DSA because Trump demands they do, right? If they don't do that and they try to censor Europeans, they're automatically going to be censoring Americans. And Americans have freedom of speech. That is unacceptable to Donald Trump, at least for now. I hope it stays that way, right? It looks like it's going to, because there's a lot of people within his administration, like I said, at the higher ups, that are totally on board with this idea and are sick and tired of Europe wavering into the realm of totalitarianism instead of freedom and prosperity, right? Europe is an ideological cult. The EU, let's say. The EU is an ideological cult. The people that are running it. And they're going to lead us to destruction. And that needs to stop. And the Trump administration sees that. Just like we see it, I see it, a lot of you people see it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take a genius. But these people that are running the show, you know, they're just mindless drones, right? So they don't see it because they're programmed not to see it, and they're a victim of their programming. Simple as that. Just like the people that still watch mainstream media. Okay? So what's going on here is that Trump is trying to strong-arm the European Union bullies and tyrants that nobody fucking elected. I didn't elect Ursula von der Leyen, a corrupt fucking bitch that hasn't done shit for me, and I don't even know me. I don't even know her. I don't give a fuck about her. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is she to say anything about my life? Get the fuck out of here. And that's how the Trump administration views Ursula von der Leyen. You know, you can tell because during the Ukraine negotiations, Trump put Ursula von der Leyen out the door and said, no, only elected officials are going to be part of this meeting. Basically implying you are unelected tyrant, and so you don't get to be part of this conversation. That set the standard there. So he views it the same way we do. And their administration is trying to use this trade deal with the 15% tariffs to strong arm the EU into dropping their insane censorship policy. And look, I think they're going to have to do it. You know, they might come to some sort of agreement, like they're going to have to water the DSA down quite a lot. And they're going to bet on, well, when Trump is gone, then somebody will be in office that we can fucking get to go back to normal. I don't think that's going to be the case either, you know, because once something gets on the track of working correctly, then future politicians don't generally want to get off that track. So if Trump gets his shit together and in the next 3 years, like, really kicks ass and makes things happen, there's not a politician that's coming after him and just change that just like that if it works. You know what I mean? And to be honest, making Europe a place of freedom and democracy and free speech is beneficial to America, right? And so once that's implemented, once they have to water this DSA down so far, the Digital Services Act, and they have to let go of this censorship regime they're trying to do in the European Union, and they have to stop going after their political opponents like the AfD with lawfare, because that's another part of it. You know, J.D. Vance said it at the Munich Security Conference. That's a part of it. And then we're in a position to really keep this thing going. But what surprises me is, why aren't German people? I guess, okay, let's not. I think German people now are ready to pull the trigger on the AfD. I really do. I just hope it's not too late. Like, because if they get a way to ban them outright, you know, they're already doing it in Ludwigshafen and shit, trying to, like, banning mayoral candidates and shit from the race. They're already doing whatever they can. And it may be too late. I hope not. And if it's not, this is the last chance. And I think the German people are wise to it. I think they are awake to this idea. So I think it's finally going to happen for Germany, that they're going to say enough is enough and let the AfD at the you know, levers of power to try to do something to change this ship. But remember, even if the AfD gets it, the thing with the AfD is when they get in, there's such high expectations from everybody, you know, and it's going to take them a while. You're going to have to give them a little leeway and a little chance, just like we got to do with Donald Trump. It's not going to be easy to unfuck Germany, right? It's just not going to be easy, right? It's not easy in America either to unfuck it. And that's why Donald Trump is making, in my opinion, a lot of mistakes, and there's a lot of things not going exactly right.
End of tailback in, you know, 1 kilometer.
There's a lot of things not going exactly right. So I think that's going to be the same thing with the AfD. So yeah, I get it that people are going to have high expectations, but you do have to give them some time. You have to be a little bit patient, because they're up against a fucking monolith of morons that are going to try and work against them just to stay in power. None of those
End
people
of tailback in 500 meters.
None of those people give a fuck about you. You know what I mean? None of them do. And the AfD is the only chance Germany has, right? And I think that finally the German people are ready to go for it, and I hope so. I'm really counting on it, actually. You know, because I live here too.
End of tailback in 100 meters.
I live here too. And I think if people don't elect the AfD now, then they will find a way to ban them or get them out or some shit. You know what I'm saying? They're going to false flag them, or they're going to plant evidence on them. You know what I mean? Or something. Something's going to happen. You know what I mean? So now's the chance, people. Now's the chance, because we can't have it. We can't be constantly dependent on somebody like Donald Trump, who from the outside comes in and demands our rights for us. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to work long term. We're lucky with the Trump administration that they are doing something against these EU tyrants. But honestly, it is up to the people in our respective countries to also elect the right people, to get involved somehow, to know who they're electing and what those people are standing for, because that's the only way to do it without violence, right? Is through voting. That's it. That's all we got. It's the only way to do it without violence. If voting doesn't work anymore, violence is going to be the only way to retain your sovereignty and your liberty. That I guarantee you. that's the way it's always been. So take that into consideration. Right now, be thankful that anybody that's telling you, oh, Trump sucks, fuck Trump. Look, hey, there's some things he's doing wrong, absolutely, right? But this is not one of them. He is protecting your rights in Europe. You know what I mean? He didn't have to do that shit. And his administration is helping. And they are strong-arming these bully tyrant European politicians, which really have no leg to stand on. They're not going to be able to win that argument. So we're lucky as fuck in that degree. I think that's a very positive development, and I hope that it continues. And that's it for Tuesday, the 2nd of September, 2025, for the Insanity Report for Germany. And remember to like, subscribe, retweet, repost, all the things that are free for you, but help me a lot to get my content out to other people. So thanks a lot for that, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.